Hello children, let me welcome you to the virtual class of the Brihan Mumbai Mahanagar Palika. My name is Shraddha teacher. Children, we are in the middle of this COVID-19 pandemic and because of that we are not able to go to school, but that doesn't mean we are going to stop learning. So we are going to do many lessons which are very interesting from your textbook through the virtual class here. So let us do a lesson in English today. The lesson that we will be doing today is a lesson in standard 8th English, children. And the lesson is about a very interesting grammar point. Now I will be showing you a few pictures and let me see whether you are able to guess about the topic that we are going to study today. So here, take a look. What can you see? You can see three colorful balls. One is bigger than the other and the third one is bigger even than the second one. Okay, so they are increasing in their size and they are of different sizes. So this is one clue for you. Let me give you one more example. See here. So we have three beetles and all the three are of different sizes again. Okay, so looking at this, are you able to remember the grammar point that we have been learning since we were in a very small class, you can say? Yes, we are going to talk about a very interesting grammar point today, and that is we're going to learn a lesson based on degrees of comparison. And this is a point from your lesson number 1.2, that is Dick Whittington and his cat. So let us talk about degrees of comparison in detail. Now here in this particular lesson, they have asked us to look at degrees of comparison for adjectives. But then we are going to take a quick look at degrees of comparison for adverbs as well. Okay, so come on, let's start this particular lesson on degrees of comparison. I hope you will enjoy the lesson and also you will be able to learn a lot from this lesson. So let us start and let us see what the meaning of degrees of comparison are. Now we all know how to write answers to questions. We know how to write complete tables based on degrees of comparison. But today we are going to talk in detail about the meaning and we will look at certain rules also. Okay, so the degrees of comparison in English are made with the adjective and adverb words. So remember, degrees of comparison are used with words which are adjectives and adverbs. Now what are adjectives, children? We all know that adjectives are words which describe something. So they describe the noun. Alright, so they tell us about the quality, they tell us about the height, they tell us about the weight, they tell us about the thickness, etc. And now what are adverbs? Adverbs are words which describe the verb. So the adverbs describe the action. Alright, so see, just like you can compare the quality of two things, in the same way you can also compare the way in which actions are performed. For example, some of us, we run fast. Some others, they run faster. Okay, so we can compare adverbs also. That is the way in which, the method in which we perform actions. So the degrees of comparison are made with words which are adjectives and words which are adverbs. And what do they show? They show how big or small, how high or low, how more or less, many or less, many or few. That is basically, we talk about the qualities and we also talk about the numbers and positions of the nouns. We talk about the numbers also. Okay, so basically what is adverb, what is degrees of comparison? Degrees of comparison, as the name suggests, it is nothing but a way in which we compare things. Alright, and we bring out the differences in qualities of things. So this is the meaning in short about the degrees of comparison. That is, what are degrees of comparison? So from this there are two things that we take away. One is that degrees of comparison are made with adjective and adverb words. And secondly, comparison is done. Comparison of what? Comparison of quality, comparison of you can say the different kind of positions, comparison of numbers, comparison also of the way in which actions are performed. So that is the meaning of degrees of comparison for you. So see, we compare qualities, we compare numbers, positions, etc. Now, there are 3 degrees of comparison in English, and all of us are already familiar with all this. The 3 degrees of comparison in English are, yes, the first one is the positive degree of comparison. Then you have the comparative degree of comparison, and finally we have the superlative degree of comparison. So we do not say the word of comparison all the time. So what will we say? We will just say we have 3 degrees of comparison in English: positive degree, comparative degree, and superlative degree. So these are the 3 degrees of comparison in English, which we use for adjectives and adverbs. Alright, now let us look at each of them and we will try and understand more about positive degree of comparison and the comparative and superlative degree, both in adjectives as well as in adverbs. So let us start with adjectives first. So the positive degree we use when we are speaking only about one person or one thing. That is, here actually going to see there is no comparison done, because there's just one thing. When there's just one thing, then you don't compare it with something else. Okay, so the positive degree is used when we speak about only one person or one thing. For example, see, we say LeBron James, now this is just a name of a person, is tall. Okay, so there is one person or one noun over here with one quality, that is tall. So what is a noun here? The name of the person, or the person here, LeBron James, it is a noun. And there is one adjective, that is there is just one quality, that is tall. Okay, so there is no second person here with whom we are going to compare LeBron James. So we are talking about the positive degree. There is just one person, one thing, and one quality. Look at this example, second one. The house is big. So you went to see someone's house and you're saying, wow, the house is big. You are not comparing it, mind you, with anybody else's house. The third is, this flower is beautiful. So in all the 3 cases, we have one noun each and one adjective. So we have LeBron James and tall. We have house and big. We have flower and beautiful. So this is what the positive degree of comparison is. Let us move on and talk about the comparative degree for adjectives. So when we use the comparative degree, we compare 2 persons or 2 things with each other. So we are comparing, we are deciding which is better, which is worse, which is tall, which is not tall. Okay, and we are comparing which is good, which is not good, or as good as the first one. So we are comparing 2 things. For example, suppose you have a brother or a sister, and when it is result day, then your mother compares your marks, isn't it? She says, see, your sister got so many marks in maths and you got only so many. So mummy does some comparison between you two. So when there are 2 persons or 2 things with which we compare each other, then that is the comparative degree. Let us take some examples here. So see, Yao Ming is taller than LeBron James. So now here, in the previous one, there was only LeBron James. When we talked about positive degree, there was only LeBron James. But now here there is a new person who's come in. What is the name of the new person? He is Yao Ming. And now we are saying that Yao Ming is taller than LeBron James. There LeBron James was alone, so we thought that he's tall. But now when you compared him with Yao Ming, we are finding that Yao Ming is taller than LeBron James.
The same case goes with the house also. This house is bigger than that one. So see again here, you're comparing the two houses. You found one more house with which you can compare the house which you had with you. So this house is bigger than that one. The next one is she is nicer than him. So see here again, you have two nouns. So in each of these cases, you have two nouns, two persons or things. Persons and things are what? They are nouns only, isn't it? So you have two nouns. So in the first example, you have Yao Ming and LeBron James. Second example, you have this house and that house. Instead of saying that house again, we say that one. You have she and you have him. So here you have two, you can say nouns, and you have one adjective where you're comparing these nouns with each other. Okay? Then we look at the superlative degree. We use the superlative degree when we compare more than two things or persons with one another. So when there are two, we say, okay, this one is better, that one is better. Suppose you're going out to buy a dress and the shopkeeper shows you two dresses. So you have to decide out of the two, isn't it? So you will say, no, the pink dress is better than the yellow one. But suppose he shows you 5 dresses. One pink one, one yellow one green one black one, and one red one. And you like the black one the most. So what do you say? You will say, the black dress is the best. Okay? So when you have to compare and choose between two or more things or persons, then we use the superlative degree of comparison. And remember, it is the highest degree of quality. The best, highest degree. Okay? So in positive, there was just one thing or one noun. In comparative, there were two nouns. And here in superlative, we have more than two nouns. Let us take some examples. So Peter is the smartest boy in the class. So in the entire class of say 20 or 30 children, Peter is the smartest boy. Okay? So see, we have called him the smartest. Alice is the sweetest girl. Where? In the entire neighborhood. So Alice is the best girl. She is the sweetest. She is very well mannered. So there is no other person who is as well mannered as Alice. In the first case, there is no boy in the class who is as smart as Peter. So it is the highest degree. Alright. The next one. The blue whale is the largest of all animals. So out of all the animals that exist on planet Earth, the blue whale is the largest. That is, it is the biggest in size. Okay? So children, these are the 3 degrees of comparison for right adjectives. Let us take a quick look at some interesting examples, and also I will teach you certain important points that you have to remember. So come on, let us compare something, certain things. So you have big, okay, the ball. The first one is big. Second one is bigger. And the third one is biggest. But now there is one important thing that you should remember here. Before the superlative, you always put the. Okay? So I will always say big, bigger, the biggest. Alright? Now when we take these examples, I will tell you one more important point. When you write it in sentences, when you write these words in sentences, that time, in the positive degree, you say clear. In the comparative degree, you will always use the word than after the adjective. So you will say clearer than. Always, when you're using the comparative degree in a sentence, you will always write clearer than. And of course, in the superlative degree, you will write the clearest. Okay? So next one, how will you write? Dark, darker than, the darkest. So if you try to remember these things in this way, you will never make a mistake while writing a sentence. Okay? So the water in this lake is clear. The water in that lake is clearer than the water in this lake. The water in the third lake is the clearest. Okay? So always remember to use than after the comparative degree and the before the superlative degree. Let's take some more examples. So see here, some pretty fish, some tasty apples, and some pretty girls. So big, a big fish. Okay, bigger than. So the second fish is bigger than the first one, and the third one is the biggest. The third fish is, instead of writing the third fish is biggest, you will write the third fish is the biggest. Okay, then you have small, smaller than, the smallest. And finally you have one more example, beautiful, more beautiful than, the most beautiful. Okay, so these are some examples. Now the third one, children, is a slightly different one compared to the first two. Why? In the first one you added er after big and small. Okay, now in the third one, and you also added est. But in the third example, instead of adding er and est, you've added more and most. So certain adjectives, instead of taking er and est in the suffix, they take more and most before them to form the comparative and superlative degrees. So there are two types of adjectives, children. One is the regular adjectives and the other is the irregular adjectives. Now the regular adjectives are the ones which we saw here. The ones which take er, est, the ones which take more, most. Okay, so these are the regular adjectives. Let us take some more examples of regular adjectives. See here, small, big, fat, large, fit. So these are the regular adjectives. Why? Because small becomes smaller than, the smallest. Big becomes bigger than, the biggest, etc. But there are some adjectives which are irregular adjectives. For example, good, bad, far, little, much. Now why is good an irregular adjective? Because just like small becomes smaller and smallest, good doesn't become gooder and goodest. Then what happens to good? Good becomes better and best. Okay? Big becomes bigger and biggest. But bad doesn't become badder and baddest. Bad becomes worse and worst. So that is why we put the words which are adjectives into two groups, regular ones and irregular ones. So let us take a little bit, let us look at some examples of regular adjectives and then we will look at some examples of irregular adjectives as well. So see here, poor, poorer, poorest, rich, richer, richest. Remember, you have to always add than and the. Don't forget that, okay? So poor, poorer than and the poorest. Rich, richer than the richest. Low, lower than the lowest. High, higher than the highest. Large, larger than the largest. So all these are examples of regular adjectives. Let us take this example now here. Careful, I told you, some of the adjectives, they take more and they take most before them. They do not take er and est after them. Okay, so for careful we have more careful, most careful. So how will you write? More careful than, the most careful. Okay, so see, you will not write carefuler and carefulest. Okay, boring becomes more boring than, the most boring. Famous becomes more famous than, the most famous. Exciting becomes more exciting than, the most exciting. Reliable becomes more reliable than, the most reliable. Okay, so these are also examples of regular adjectives. Now then, what are irregular adjectives? Some adjectives have irregular forms in the comparative degree. Now what is the meaning of irregular forms? They do not have a suffix er. Suffix is not added, okay, or er or est is not added after the word, and they do not take words like more or less also. The comparative forms of these adjectives are totally different words. Okay, so see, like good became better. So better is a totally different word compared to good. So these are examples of irregular adjectives. Why? Because the comparative form and the superlative form are totally different words as compared to the base word. Okay, let us look at some examples, you will understand better. So see, good becomes better and best, worse becomes, bad becomes worse and worst, far becomes farther and farthest, or further and furthest, much becomes more and most, and little becomes less, and then finally least. So you can see how it is totally changing. The word itself is changing. That is why these are called as irregular forms of adjectives. Okay, so these are some irregular adjectives. So good becomes better than, okay, and the best. Bad or ill becomes worse than and the worst. Much or many becomes more than and the most. So see, much has become more and most. The word itself has changed totally. Little becomes less than and the least, and so on. Okay, so you can read them, and you can pause the video here, you can read them at leisure. So these are all called as irregular adjectives. Now when we are doing degrees of comparison, and when we know that degrees of comparison has adjectives as well as adverbs as a point to learn, let us quickly now learn about adverbs also. Now it is not very different, okay, there are certain rules which are a little different. So let's take a look at them. So how will you compare adverbs? So what is the meaning of adverbs? Adverbs are used to express how something is done. So I told you in the beginning of the lesson that adjectives are used to compare qualities. Okay, comparison of adjectives are used to compare qualities of two things, and comparison of adverbs is used to compare or express the manner in which something is done. So we say the dog sleeps quietly, the dog is absolutely quiet. Okay, these are some kinds of adjectives that we use. So quietly is one adverb, absolutely is one adverb. Okay, so let's take a look at the degrees of comparison of adverbs. So just like adjectives, adverbs have also 3 degrees of comparison: the positive degree, the comparative degree, and the superlative degree. The positive is the most basic form of the adverb. It just describes the adjective, verb, or another adverb. There is just one verb which is there, or there is just one, you can say, noun performing that action, and then we are just talking about that particular noun and that particular verb. So the boy runs fast. So how many boys are there in the picture here? Just one boy. And the boy is running fast. Okay. So run is the verb here, and fast is describing how the boy runs. When there are more than one boy, then we will move on to the other degree of comparison. So here, just like in the positive degree of adjectives, here also we have just one boy, that is one noun and one action. There in adjectives we had one noun and one quality, but here we have one noun and one action. So you use words like fast, far, hard, late, soon, near. All these words you will find when you're talking about positive degree of comparison in adjectives. Moving on, what about the comparative degree? So comparative degree is again used in exactly the same word way as we use it in adjectives, by talking about two things. So comparative form of adjectives is made again by adding er. Okay, so see here, the boy runs faster than his father. So in the first case, the boy was running alone, so we said that the boy runs fast. Now there are two people running. The boy is running and his father is also running. And here we are saying, we are comparing the two, and we are saying that the boy is running, of course, and he is running faster than his father. So see, the fast became faster. Alright, in the same way, clean will become cleaner, high will become higher. Alright, so any you can say when you're comparing the action done by two different people, then you make use of comparative degree. And then what do you think the superlative degree will be? Yes, the superlative degree is when you are saying that someone is doing something in the best possible manner. Okay, highest degree. So it is used by adding est or by adding most, okay, to the word, to the verb. For example, the athlete runs the fastest. So you have the son running, you have the father running, but who's the fastest? It is the athlete. So you have loud becoming loudest, soon becoming soonest, and you also have certain words like truly. So instead of saying truliest, you say most truly. Abruptly, most abrupt. So you will see that most of the adverbs which are ending in y add most and more to it when you're making the comparative and the superlative degree. Okay, so this was about the adverbs, the degrees of comparison in adverbs. Let us take some examples or look at some examples here. So you have positive degree, comparative degree, and superlative degree, and we are going to take three basic adverbs and try and see how they change. So angry in the positive degree will become angrily. Okay, then the word calm in the positive degree will be calmly, and the adverb fast will remain fast. We don't say fastly. Okay, so in the positive degree, angry will be angrily, calm, the adjective calm will become calmly, and fast will become fast, will remain fast. When you talk about the same words in the comparative degree, see, you have more angrily, more calmly, and faster. So the adverbs which were ending in y have taken more, and fast has become faster. And the third one, superlative degree, see, more angrily has become most angrily, more calmly has become most calmly, and faster has become fastest. So see, angry, angrily, more angrily, most angrily, calmly, more calmly, most calmly, fast, faster, fastest. Okay, so this is how adverbs change their degrees or change themselves when they are used in different degrees of comparison. Let us see some more examples here. So see, recently becomes more recently, most recently. Effectively is more effectively, most effectively. Frequently is more frequently, most frequently. Alright, let us take a few rules now. So a comparative adverb, when you're using an adverb to compare, what do? You're not doing nothing, but you're comparing two actions. So to compare two actions, you make use of a comparative adverb. Now when you're comparing two actions, you sometimes add er to the adverb. For example, see, runs fast, runs faster. A runs fast, B runs faster than A. Now when the adverb ends with ly, then instead of er, what do? You use more and most. So you say more likely, most likely. And you never use more with the er form of the adverb. When there is an er form of the adverb, you never use more and most with it. For example, you will never say more faster, most fastest. When you're saying faster itself, it means it is more fast. Okay, so these words you will never use. So these were some small rules about adverbs. So now we have talked about adjectives, we have talked about adverbs, and now I've got a few simple exercises for you to do. Now before we go to the exercise, let me also tell you that after you finish watching the video, your work doesn't end there. You have got to do some small tasks which you will find in the description box below the video. Now what those tasks are, I will tell you very soon towards the end of this video. Okay, so let's look at the exercises that I bought for you for homework. So see, you have supposed to write the comparative form and superlative form of all these adjectives. So you have new, newer, newest as an example. You have fat, fatter, fattest, warm, warmer, warmest, so that you will write and complete. Okay, there are some irregular forms also somewhere in the middle. Then there is this exercise where you're going to compare the adverbs. So you will write the comparative form of the adverb and you will write the superlative form of the adverb. Okay, for example, fast will be faster, fastest, whereas early will be, yes, think. When it is ending with y, what will you do? Okay, and finally you have this one exercise, which is again a mixed lot. You have some adverbs here, you have some adjectives here, and also you have some regular and irregular ones. So you will find out how to put this in the sentence. For example, the first one, see, Ali is dash than Adam. So now there are two people here. So then what will happen? And you can see the word than also. So you know now. Okay. So children, this was the grammar point comparison or degrees of comparison from lesson number 1.2. So hope you enjoyed the lesson and also hope you understood all the points which are relevant to this particular grammar point.
So children, now you have watched the video. So after you watch the video now, you will have to complete a few simple tasks. Now you might have watched the video on your computers or your laptops or your mobile phones. Now after you watch the video, what will you do? You will please go to the description box which is given below the video. So what is the description box? See, the description box looks like this. Alright, and after you go to the description box, you will see that there are a few questions there. Now what are these questions about? These questions are about the lesson that we just learned or the video that you just watched. So what will you do? You will think back properly about the lesson and you will try and answer these questions and note down the answers in your notebook if you want. Okay? After that, we have another task waiting. You will also click on the link which you will find in the description box to fill up the Google form. So now what is the Google form, children? It is nothing but a simple form. There are a few simple questions there about the video which you just saw and also about yourself. So these are the tasks now that you will have to complete after you watch each video. So children, wasn't that a very interesting lesson? I'm sure you learnt a lot of new things in this lesson. If you have liked this video, please hit the like button and also subscribe to my video so that you will get to see all the videos which I keep posting regularly.